All right, it works. Isn't that amazing? Hey everybody, it's Michael Minjin here again. And today I just kind of want to talk about the art of negotiation because, when we negotiate something, somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose, right? That's what our traditional life is. When we trade something, somebody gets something of worse value and we get something of better value. That's the idea, right? Obviously, though, but the art of negotiation is you have to win, and so does the customer, because you either negotiate in your life, you negotiate to lose or you negotiate to win. And that is one of the biggest defining differences between people who are rich and successful and people who are broke and have nothing. Because the people who have broke and have nothing, they've negotiated their whole life to lose. They've negotiated their whole life to be on the shorter end of the stick. And that is their fault. So if you're the person right now, and I'm going to be very blunt about this, if you're the person right now who's sitting there and you have nothing in your life and you're broke and you hate your life, it is your fault. Okay? Now, if you're on the other side of this fence where you have money and you have prosperity on you, that is your fault. That's your problem. You created that. That is your problem. You created that. So that is the difference when you create and then destroy. You either create prosperity or you negotiate for loss. And that is like the main biggest differences between Donald Trump. When he negotiates something, he negotiates to win. You know, and he negotiates on the other side so the other person wins as well. And if you look at it this way, let's take an example. If Donald Trump was to negotiate with you a house. Let's just say that you had a house and you wanted to sell it. Now, Donald Trump would negotiate it with you so that you won as well as he won. Okay? In your mind, when you leave, and the only reason why you even accepted negotiation was that you believed that it was going to match your values, what you wanted most in your life. And that goes down to your emotional part. It's going to make you feel a certain way. It's not necessarily how much money you make. And that sometimes that's the thing, is that when we negotiate something, what are you negotiating with? Are you negotiating with money? Or are you negotiating with yourself and your inner sides? Because that's the problem most people run into, is they negotiate with how they're going to feel. Oh yeah, that guy, he got the shorter end of the stick. Right? How does that make you feel? Right? Or, man, that guy got the best of me. Shucks. You know, if you did that, that's your problem. But at that moment of decision, when you decided to say, all right, I'll let you deal, right? What were you feeling like when you did that deal? You felt like you have, maybe you felt like you sacrificed. And that was the way that you get your human needs. Oh, I need to give it all away. And that's how you get your contribution. You feel that you contributed something to the greater good or to society by giving away your livelihood. Why do people stay stuck in a job that pays them $8 an hour and they get laid off every 3 months? The reason why people do that is because when they negotiated with life, they asked for a price that was life gave them. They said, money is evil, it doesn't work. Money is bad. So what am I going to do? I'm going to have the least amount of money and I'm going to live in poverty. Because Jesus lived in poverty. Physically, not emotionally, but physically. And they hope to believe that they're going to gain the emotional intensity in life that Jesus had by living poor. And the truth of the matter is you're not. You won't. Because if you are worrying about the bills and you're stressed about paying your stuff on time, your emotion is not like Jesus at all. Not one bit. And I'll tell you why. Because Jesus didn't have any debts to pay. And God said in the very beginning, He says, if you want to live, you've got to eat by the sweat of your brow. What does that mean? It means eat, work for a living. Now also, if we look around us, this world is abundant. So if you think that right now that you can negotiate and you think that negotiating to win is bad, let me tell you, negotiating to lose is a sin. Because if you look around you, how many thousands of apples do you get every year? There's an abundance of them. There's so many apples a year that we throw them away. We throw food away. They rot in the trees because there's an abundance. There's more than we can have. And that's what this universe is about. That's what trading and negotiation is. If you're negotiating and you're losing, you don't know how to negotiate. It means you need to focus on it. You're in a good spot. Start. If you lose, that's the only way you learn how to win. You've got to get up there and you've got to negotiate. You have to stand for what you believe in. If you don't stand for what you believe in and what you want, you won't get it. People will walk on you. And unfortunately, there are people who are dishonest. But even though if you're an honest person, you still have to negotiate to win. You have to learn that skill. Because if you don't learn how to negotiate to win, you're not going to get anywhere. That's just the truth. If you negotiate with life and ask for life for but a penny, that's what life is going to give you. It's going to give you a penny. If you wish for more money, well, I'll just give you $1. You just got more money. Now, there's a reason why when you negotiate, you have to be specific. You have to know what you're negotiating for. Because if you don't know what you're negotiating for, you're going to end up in a spot that you never wanted to be. Because just like the Cheshire Cat says, if you don't know what you want, any road will take you there. And if you follow that road that Alice took, it was a very scary road. And it was in places that she didn't want until she wanted to be home. Then when she wanted to be home, well, there was the path to go home. And until then. But that's the important part, is that when you negotiate to win, what are you negotiating for? Not just physically, but what are you negotiating for inside? What are you going to get? What is the experience? What is it going to make you feel like when you're finished? And why would you do it? If I was to negotiate, $1 million with you, well, first off, what's $1 million going to make me feel like? Before I even took the $1 million, first off, I'd find out, what do I have to do? What is it that I have of value to give to you before you gave me $1 million? That is important. Because if I don't have anything to give to you, taking your $1 million isn't worth it. I don't want your $1 million. And that's the important part. If you're going to go ahead and negotiate with something, you have to know what other people can give to you. And whether it's you're negotiating with a mentor, whether you're negotiating with a customer, whether you're negotiating with your own wife, or your children, your spouse, if you don't negotiate to win on both parties, then you just had a battle. And that's the thing about sales, is that in the battle, we both win. If I sell you a product, and you have the product, and it helps you out for the next 50 years of your life, it was a good product. Now, I took the money that I made, and it's gone in a week. $100 doesn't last very long. Neither does $1,000. $1,000 doesn't last long at all. Not in today's economy. People can't even live on $1,000. The minimum wage doesn't cover the minimum anymore. That's one of the things that we hit, and we thought it was called life. Until we hit life, then we realized that life was a little bit harder than we expected it to be. I hope you guys all learned something from this video. I'll be making more videos from time to time. I'm not going to be here every single day. But for now, I'm just going to make a video for you guys. Check out my channel. Go ahead. If you guys picked up some value from here, if you picked up just one idea or one thing that you learned, what did you learn? Type in what you learned in the comments. Go ahead and just type in what you learned. Did this help you? Let me know. That's for sure. So anyways, in the meanwhile, have a great day. Take care.